Hoskote biryani gives Bengaluru a sense of purpose, a reason to wake up at this unearthly hour.
It's literally the size of a jacuzzi. Oh wow. It's liquid meat.
Yeah, liquid
Yes.
meaty gold. So it's about 120, 130 kilos of meat and about 120 kilos of rice.
Okay.
Okay, now that is the ghee that's going in.
Oh, a whole bucket of ghee goes in.
Yeah.
We've made it to the finish line. They serve you a small mountain of biryani. That weighs,
That's right.
that's a lot of weight. And people just demolish it.
And that rice is hot.
Oh, very hot.
Bisi is the word in Kannada.
Busy.
Bisi.
Oh, the flavors keep on building.
Namaskara folks, welcome to a very special Bengaluru Biryani Gourmet Trail with our very special guest Mark Wiens.
Yes. It's a very early morning.
It's very early morning and our days began at least 2 hours before this.
Yes.
So when you set out to explore biryani in Bengaluru, did you count on waking up at this unearthly hour?
This is a biryani I knew we had to eat. We had to come here, yes.
We are at Hoskote, and that can only mean one thing, that we are beginning our biryani trail here with Mark, introducing him to the tradition of the early morning Hoskote biryani.
Yes. Part of the joy of eating biryani is that it's rice and meat and spices, but there's so many different flavors and variations.
Correct.
So I don't know if I really have a favorite, but I've just enjoyed trying biryanis, you know, all the way from Bangladesh through India, through Pakistan, through Persia.
Fantastic. And what do you look for in a biryani? What does a biryani have to...
It has to hug your stomach and make you feel warm and comforting and leave your mouth with like a flavor overdose at the same time.
Fantastic. So today is going to be a day filled with biryanis. We're making a beginning with Hoskote, but we also have two very special biryanis. So stay tuned till the very end of this episode.
All right.
Let's go, Mark.
Let's go. I smell it in the air. So excited. This is going to be incredible. And we have a lot of biryani to eat today as well.
We have plenty of biryani to eat, but this is the perfect beginning because this is the working man's biryani. This is the biryani that people eat when they're on the highways in this part of the world.
Oh yeah, as we're like along the highway, it's almost like a truck stop. This
That's
entire
right.
town is like a truck stop.
And those were the earliest customers for the
okay.
Hoskote biryani.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to savor.
I can smell it in the air already.
Yes.
Oh.
And the fire burning as well.
It's so awesome. 2 hours before they open and there's already people
Yes.
lining up, waiting around, just hanging out for biryani.
So Mark, let me introduce you to Manjunath.
Okay.
And this is of course Mark Wiens. And it was his father who began the tradition of the Hoskote biryani in 1992. They would do about 2 kilos. And today on a Sunday,
Around 900 kilo mutton.
around 900 kilos.
900 kilos.
So the journey that began with 2 kilos of meat 32 years ago, today on a Sunday culminates in about 900 kilos of meat being used.
And I heard like 10,000 plates of biryani.
Yes,
per day.
I don't know. Adu gottilla. I don't know if they'll tell you exactly how many plates, but yes, it's safe to say that the biryanis here are sold in the thousands, especially on a Sunday.
Wow.
So right now they're boiling the meat. So it's almost like worshipping their culinary traditions.
Oh yeah.
There's a great deal of reverence that they have for the work that they do. That is also something that they do to ward off the evil eye.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Can you hear that liquid sloshing?
Yes, it's literally the size of a jacuzzi.
It literally is. They begin by seasoning the oil with a bunch of spices. So there's the cloves, there's kapok buds, nutmeg, etc. So once the spices go in, then go in the onions. And the interesting thing with this biryani is there's green chili that goes into it, red chili that goes into it, but all that goes in the form of paste. And then they have a proprietary biryani spice mix that's basically guarded in terms of the secret, and that is prepared at home. This is how kilo ಇದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ?
250 mutton.
250. So let's say so together there are about 250 kilos of mutton today. So there's basically some garlic in that. So this is basically about 6 ingredients or 7 ingredients that they mix at home.
It's a family recipe.
That's right. So
You can have it, it's not a problem, but it is a little bit spicier.
It's spicy?
Yeah.
this is a spicy biryani.
Okay. Oh, that's delicious. Oh, that hits you in the morning.
Oh, wake up call.
Yes. Second taste test, we tasted that spice paste.
That
now,
was a bomb.
man, that lights your mouth on fire. Yes, that is so much flavor. Now we have the soup broth. This is the mutton been boiling in all those spices plus the paste broth.
That's
plus
right.
the paste.
Look at the aroma.
It smells so good. So
Yeah.
meaty. And again, that strong cinnamony aroma comes through really
That's
nicely.
right. All the spices
And
that-
flavor of the chilies.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
This is liquid gold, Mark.
It's liquid meat.
Yeah, liquid
Yes.
meaty gold.
It
Here
is.
in Hoskote at Mani Biryani.
That is an unbelievable amount of flavor.
Oh, this is so good.
Oh, it's so good. Plus, you taste the sweetness of the onions that just kind of dissolve, disintegrate in your mouth.
You know what you're tasting also in this, apart from the meatiness that comes through,
Yeah.
is the base notes of the spices.
Yes, yes.
There's also plenty of greens that go in, like the coriander, the mint, etc. So all that gets ground in a paste, and that's what goes into
And
that
that's
pot.
also what's in the pot,
So
yeah.
that's also what's reflecting. This is absolutely delicious.
Yeah, the perfect warming broth. That really is unbelievable broth.
So it's about 120, 130 kilos of meat and about 120 kilos of rice.
Okay,
So
almost
there's
equal
always-
proportions of meat and
Yeah,
rice.
that's right.
Okay.
So ಇವತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಿಲೋ ಇದೆ?
ಇವತ್ತು ಟೋಟಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪೇರಿಟಿವ್ ಎರಡು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 400 kilos
400 kilos. Meat ಮತ್ತೆ rice?
ಮತ್ತೆ rice ಇದೆ.
This wood that they use here is what we call the honge mara, or it's also called the Indian beech wood.
Okay,
The specialty of this wood is that after it burns down,
yeah.
they get these coal embers that they can then use to place on top. So that's the reason
Okay.
why they use this particular wood. All that's the wood that's actually burnt and formed charcoal. Look at the manner in which he's turning it around.
4 rounds ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ
4 rounds andre.
ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
So he says he has to stir it 4 times at intervals before that meat is cooked completely.
Okay. It literally looks like fresh lava.
So you know this is a biryani that draws plenty of flavor from the fat. Now you can see a lot of the fat also float to the top. You stand around one of these, I'm sure by the time you watch that entire biryani being prepared, you probably lost at least a kilo of 2 of water from your body. That's how much heat these pots radiate. Okay, now that is the ghee that's going in.
Oh, a whole bucket of ghee goes in.
Yeah. And now the charcoal.
Wow, that's a lot of heat to the face, but they just all spring into action. The lid goes on, he starts piling the coals from the bottom to the top, and that's the dum method. That's what's gonna seal it all together.
So what happens, Mark, is that as that biryani, as that masala, as the heat rises, it also carries with it all the flavors of the spices, and it goes all the way to the top of that vessel, and then it falls back again on the rice that has gathered around, almost as if waiting to receive that spice, that masala, that vapor.
All that flavor is gonna be evenly distributed.
Absolutely. When they do it right, you will taste the flavor of the dum, the smoky flavor of the dum in every grain of the rice. And that is the one unique thing I remember about this biryani. Every grain of rice conveyed to you everything that was there in this pot.
Oh, and they are doing it right.
They are doing it right for 32 years.
What exactly is the history of the biryani in Hoskote, and why is it so early in the morning?
So typically Hoskote was a stop for truckers. There are many companies, many factories around here. So the truckers would also travel on the highways around this area. So this would be a rest stop for them.
Okay.
And in the morning when they wake up and they want to go, let's say, drive out for 300, 400 kilometers, they want a nice hearty meal. So that's when Mani began this whole concept of doing the biryani. And that became an instant hit with the truckers. So the earliest customers were the truckers, and then also the factory workers from around here. Either at the beginning of the shift or at the end of the shift, they would work hard and then have a nice biryani before they went home.
Okay, so that tradition has stuck, it's been popularized,
That's
and
right.
now I'm sure truckers still do come.
They still do come, perhaps. The factory workers definitely come. There are a lot of companies around here. And then, of course, Bengaluru also wakes up in the morning and says, okay, let's go and taste the biryani. If you want a biryani at 6 in the morning, well, Hoskote is the place where they began it first. Also, it's a nice drive today from the city.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a lovely 40-minute drive,
And
great weather.
At 3 a.m. there's no traffic.
There's no traffic.
Perfect. It's
So
perfect. I agree.
It gives you a sense of purpose. The Hoskote biryani gives Bengaluru a sense of purpose, a reason to wake up at this unearthly hour and to savor a plate of biryani. Bisi biryani.
Yes. There's a line that's now reaching into the parking lot. Probably 100 people are in line already.
So you guys come early and wait for the biryani? But you know that biryani only opens at 6 o'clock, right?
But we have to wait in a line, right?
It's worth the wait.
Yeah.
So you wake up in the morning saying, I want to eat biryani. Or you went to sleep last night saying, I want to eat the biryani in the
We
morning.
didn't go to sleep. We were waiting for to come for the biryani.
So are you guys going to eat the biryani and then what, go home and sleep, or go to work or whatever you guys do?
Go to college.
Go to college. That's commitment for a biryani. Happy eating. So this gives you an idea of the scale.
When they first started making biryani and selling it, it was in this small pot.
Smaller than that too, which is in their house now.
And now they've moved on to, at peak times, they make how many pots of this? 5 pots? Or
5 pots of this.
5 pots.
So peak time they would make about 800, 900 kilos of meat. So that's about roughly 2 tons between the meat and the rice of biryani on a Sunday. All charcoal, all wood firing,
Yes.
blazing. So Mark, out here, it's not just about the biryani itself, but I think the whole experience. If you look at people's mood,
Yeah, and you see people here from all walks of life.
Yeah.
But people are here with friends or
Yes.
with family.
Yes.
And so it's kind of that fun experience where you get to hang out with your friends in
Yeah.
line while waiting for a biryani. It's that anticipation, I think, that even makes it more special.
that's right, that's right. And there's some people here who will eat the biryani and go to work. There's some people who work through the night and now want something comforting to tuck into before
Yes.
they go home to bed. There's some people who are probably just driving through here and they say, okay, let's savor a plate
They
of
smelled
biryani.
something and they said,
Yeah.
pulled over on the
Pulled
road.
over, yeah.
Yes.
So if you look
Yes.
at the atmosphere, it's almost festive.
Yeah.
So it's like a biryani festival every Tuesday, Friday and Sunday. You know how meticulous they are about keeping things clean here, Mark?
Very
Because
clean.
they don't want any of that ash to fly back
Oh,
into
yeah.
the biryani.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Kiran has just said nikal do, which means the lids can now slide off the biryani dek. So ಇದು ತೆಗೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಟಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಇಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ಫುಲ್ ನೈಟ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಧೂಳು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಅಲ್ಲ? Ash. That's a diligent approach to making that biryani. Before anybody gets the biryani, it's offered back to the fire.
Okay.
Voila.
There it is. That's what everyone has been waiting for. Look at that crust.
So basically that's all that fat and that masala.
Forming that crust on the top.
That's right. And the ghee also. We saw rivers of ghee going in.
Yes.
That's also what contributes to that masala, to those dark spots.
So we saw him at the beginning with the limes, and now he has a tradition. It's a ritual, a ceremony, kind of a blessing, but kind of a spiritual ritual that he does with the biryani. But revealing that biryani is unbelievable. It looks like an ecosystem in a pot.
There's a temple there.
Okay.
So we'll also offer it to the gods.
We've made it to the finish line. The wait is over.
Yes.
It is before us. Quite an impressive control system here, a queuing system.
That's right.
It's very organized, actually.
Very organized. So you line up, you buy your token there, you pay your money, and then you come here with the token. And this is where you get rewarded with a biryani. They serve out hundreds and thousands of plates within that span of 2.5 hours. So they've got it down to a science.
2.5 hours, this pot will be emptied.
There's 2 piece meat out there. There's about 5 to 6 pieces of meat that go in.
Wow.
So this is really a biryani that will fill you up. You have to have an insanely big appetite if you decide to go for 2 of these.
Yes.
So these plates, Mark, are made of areca. Areca palm.
Okay.
It's basically a palm.
Okay.
And so the fronds of that, the leaves of that.
All right.
You should look at the joy on people's face as they get the biryani. You should smile marta idira ನೀವು. The smile on people's faces as they get that plate of biryani is priceless. The morning sky is just lighting up. So when you emerge from having consumed the biryani, you see the world in a whole new light. When you come here, it's dark, but after savoring the biryani, well, there's light. It's the biryani that helps you see the light.
It's time, the moment we've been waiting for. They serve you a small mountain of biryani. That weighs.
That's right.
That's a lot of weight, and people just demolish it. You want to eat it so fast that you might not even have a chance to sit down. So a lot of people have standing tables as well. They have bar counter seating. Other people just stand in the parking lot and just dig in.
That's right. So The important thing here is to get your plate of biryani. What you do with it after that doesn't really matter. How you eat it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
Most people are spending nearly an hour waiting there. They're watching that biryani being prepared. Can you imagine the anticipation?
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, we can't imagine. We can't talk any longer.
I can, Mark.
Oh. So rice first?
Rice first.
Just to get it's like dipping your feet into the pool to test the waters.
That's right. And the rice is hot.
Oh, very hot.
Bisi is the word in Kannada.
Busy.
Bisi.
Oh, the flavors keep on building. Just like when it hits your tongue, the spices just emerge.
There's the nutmegs and also the cloves. And the first thing that hits you actually is that prick of the red chilies. Right? That's what hits you. And then the lushness of the ghee, the tuppa.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's rich and moist and oily. That spice blend. Yeah. The spice blend is unlike any other biryani I've had.
Just that rice. That morsel of rice itself feels so complete. It has soaked up all that meaty juiciness.
I haven't even tried the mutton yet.
You haven't even tried the
happy.
mutton yet. But
Yeah.
that's right. Look at you smile. That's the nature of this biryani.
Yeah, it's a powerful biryani. Oh man, the depth of flavors, the complexity. It's really unbelievable. What stands out is that nutmeggy flavor paired with the green herbs, with the mutton, the sheep fat. That's the reason everybody's been standing in line here.
That's right. Can you also feel the warmth of that biryani envelop your throat?
The black pepper, you feel the black
That's
pepper
right.
starting to build up as well.
That's right.
Oh man. Okay, I'm ready to try some of that meat. Looks like we got a whole bone here with marrow on the inside.
That's a nalli. Get a piece which also has a bit of fat that's ribbon through it.
Just breaks apart. Oh.
What's nice here, Mark, is that the meat is seared nice and brown on the outside, but as you press it, that meat is still nice and juicy pink inside.
Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh, that meat.
That salty savouriness of that meat, Mark.
And it's braised in that liquid until it has that really extreme tenderness. Yeah, it's not melting. It still retains that muscle naturalness of it.
Yeah, it has a bit of a
and
bite.
the tendon.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it melts in your mouth. Oh wow. And you can taste the freshness of that meat.
You can.
Like it's so fresh. It's so sweet. It's absorbed that flavor, that spice.
Also the smokiness that's coming through on the outer surface of the meat.
Oh yeah.
And on the inside, the gelatinous softness, juiciness.
The gelatinous, it has that fat mixed in, a little bit of that tendon skin.
That's right.
Look, it just comes off the bone. Look at the texture inside of that meat. Oh, that meat. That meat is unbelievable. Cooking in quantity is not easy. And sometimes when you cook in quantity, you sacrifice the quality.
Yeah.
But here, like, you can be guaranteed they've been making that same recipe in a small pot to the gigantic jacuzzi-sized biryani pot and have not sacrificed the flavor, the quality at all.
What they're very particular about here is the size of the animal that goes into it. It's only a 10 to 12 kilo sort of an animal, so they ensure that you have the same consistency of the meat.
That's right. It's so succulent.
It is. And if you've had a little more of the meaty indulgence, go back to the rice.
Move back and forth. Yeah, you start to feel that burn on your lips and your mouth.
Yeah.
Like literally no seasoning is needed. It's a one plate happiness meal.
That's right. And also what happens, Mark, is every part of the animal goes into it. So even when you're biting on the meat, there's certain parts which are meltingly tender. And there's certain parts which will have a little more of the bite. So depending on which part of the animal it comes from, whether it's the shoulder or perhaps the hind legs that have more connective tissue in that.
Yes.
So lime is in case somebody finds it too spicy.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's where that lime comes
That's
in.
where the lime. Okay.
So the lime,
So it's not just acidity; it kind of lowers the heat.
yeah, it lowers the heat.
Ah, okay.
The acidity
Okay.
cuts the heat.
And then we also have some
Chicken kebabs.
chicken kebab. Okay.
So
Okay.
basically different parts of the chicken. So there may be some drumstick, there may be some wings in that too. Very good. I'm tasting this biryani after 3 years.
With the fresh red onion, I love red onions as well. You can kind of mix that into the biryani a little bit. Oh, that complements it well as well.
Yeah, that acrid pungency of the onion.
The juiciness of it. Oh, wow.
This is a biryani where the spices, after a few mouthfuls, it can really get hold of your palate. So that's where the onion comes in.
And the cucumber.
And the cucumber as well, just to cut things out. Refresh your palate, so it's like you're tasting that Hoskote biryani all over again.
Definitely. I mean, this biryani it really is a celebration in your mouth. It's unbelievable.
Cool things down a bit,
Okay.
maybe a little raita.
Going for a little bit of the raita, especially with that cucumber onion mixture.
Yeah.
And then again, you can work that in, massage it into your plate of biryani.
The only complaint that I have against these guys is the size and shape of that plate. It basically forces you to work on very limited surface area, and there's so much that you want to do. You want to keep some of the meat aside, you want to save some of that nalli mule, the bone.
It's almost like bowl formation.
That's right.
That being said, they really pack it in. Like when they serve
Absolutely.
it, they give you the right amount of meat. And then they give you more rice, and then just like give you one more like frosting on top.
That's right.
They just smooth it over on top of your plate. Well, the raita gives it a totally different dimension. Again, that like dairy cooling.
It also got a bit of the tartness, the acidity that comes from the piece of the kidney.
I got a liver.
You got a liver.
Yes.
So that's the other thing. So you get a surprise nugget in every biryani.
All the organs are used as well.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal. Most of them are wings, it looks like, coated in a masala. And this is fried, I believe, too.
Deep fried.
Okay. It's not the star of the show.
Yeah.
But it is an accompaniment, and it gives you a different flavor, a flavor of chicken. And
I mean, in case you want more meat, to be honest, in my opinion, you come here and just do the mutton biryani.
yeah. In any other restaurant,
Yeah.
that would be outstanding.
Yeah.
But when we're faced with a plate of mutton biryani from Mani, like the chicken gets shoved aside.
I got this piece of meat that's as tender as, I don't know,
As a pillow.
as a pillow.
You could rest your head on that piece of
I
meat.
could. A slightly bigger piece of meat, I'd go back to sleep. So good. That's a
A
shank.
portion of the shank,
Yes.
meat around the edges, marrow on the inside, although you can see some of the rice is already absorbed into the marrow, but we're gonna see if there's some marrow still left in here. Ooh, it's like totally dense with spice and rice. We might need a tool to extract that. It's just solid. Flavor is great though. It's so tender,
Yeah.
revealing the bare bone on the bottom. Wow. Wow, oh wow. That biryani. Full verification, full justification why people wake up at 4 a.m. to come eat this biryani.
That's right. The Hoskote biryani, the Mani Dum Biryani.
One of the best biryanis I've ever had.
So the question is, was it worth your time too?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. A definitive yes.
A definitive resounding yes. Going by Mark's reactions here to that biryani.
It's just such an experience here. People come here with groups together, friends, family. It's a time to hang out,
Yeah.
to spend time together.
To bond first over the promise of great food, and then finally when the biryani revealed
Yeah.
itself,
Yeah.
well over some great
It makes
food.
it all the more rewarding.
Absolutely. I think if you have a plate like this, you're definitely guaranteed to have a great day.
Oh, yes, yes,
If you're tasting this first thing in the morning.
oh yes.
So Mark, out here they celebrate a biryani tradition that goes back decades, and this is called the Shadi Ki Biryani.
Oh, right out of the pot. Oh, kripal, eat me.
Yes. Where's your friend Mark? Where's your friend Mark?
It's talking to us.
Gently say hello.
Oh.
So the third biryani that we're about to taste is a biryani called the Donne Biryani.
Okay.
Which is very local, very typical to Bengaluru,
All right.
to Karnataka. This is an eatery that goes back 90 years and is easily one of the most popular eateries for this biryani.
Wow. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, a biryani forklift is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. This is one of the coolest restaurants I've ever been to. The Donne Biryani.
Donne Biryani. If you'd like to support the work that we do at Food Lovers TV, do consider joining our membership community on YouTube by hitting the join button below or on the home page, and receive special privileges like behind the scenes footage, shoot updates, access to live Q&As and a lot more. You could support us on our Patreon page as well. For more info, check out the links in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and leave a comment below. Happy eating!